Brenda, and today we're going to be doing an experiment about sugar crystals. We're going to be making sugar crystals and learning about the different types of crystals that exist in the world. Here's what you need. You're going to need some sugar, you're going to need some craft sticks or string, some food coloring, you need some jars, and you need some clothespins. All right, let's get started. Before you do this experiment, dip your craft sticks or string into water and then coat them with regular grains of sugar. These will be your seed crystals that will help the crystals form around the stick versus on the bottom of your jar. The first thing you're gonna do is dissolve your sugar into your water. You will use 4 cups of water and 8 cups of sugar. Boil the water on the stove over your hot plate and then add the sugar 1 cup at a time until all of it is added and dissolved. At the end, it's going to take quite some time for the sugar to dissolve, but that's okay. That's what you want to see. Once your sugar mixture has dissolved, take it off the heat and let it cool for about 5 minutes, then pour it into individual jars. If you want to dye your sugar crystals, do so at this stage. Place a clothespin on top of each of your stick or string so that it suspends from the jar but doesn't touch the bottom or the sides. Set your jars in a dry location that's out of the way and let your crystals grow for about 24 hours. After 24 hours, you're gonna want to remove the crystals from the jar to make sure they're not sticking anywhere and then put them back in the solution. Let the crystals grow for another 2 or 3 days and then come back to see what they look like. We decided to make colors of the rainbow. So we have red, and we have yellow, we have green, blue, and purple. This is after we let the crystals drip dry so that we could see what they look like up close. Even though our crystals were all made with the same sugar solution, the surface of the crystal looks different depending on what jar they were made in. Here's the science. Crystals are made up of matter. Matter is small particles or molecules that can cling together in certain patterns. Crystals form when liquid cools and starts to harden, or when a supersaturated solution is made and the water level is reduced, leaving the mineral particles or the crystal particles behind. There are 4 main types of crystals: covalent, ionic, metallic, and molecular. Each of these types of crystals has a distinctive way of forming and a distinctive appearance. Covalent crystals are the strongest type of crystal. Their bonds form very hard and flexible bonds, and these kinds of crystals are almost impossible to break. Precious gems like diamonds are covalent crystals. Ionic crystals are held together by ionic bonds. Ionic bonds are inflexible bonds that have a repeating pattern. Ionic bonds are arranged electromagnetically so that the negative charge from one molecule attaches to the positive charge from another molecule, and that's how they stay bonded. Some examples of ionic crystals are salt, sodium bromide, and cesium bromide. A metallic crystal is what it sounds like. Most natural metals are actually a form of crystal. Metallic crystals are good conductors of electricity and heat. Common natural metallic crystals are copper, gold, and iron. And the last type of crystal is the type we made today. It is a molecular crystal. Molecular crystals are held together by hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds are very weak, and it causes the crystals to be very weak and break apart easily. And they also have a very low melting point. Some common molecular crystals are sugar, caffeine, and ice. Sugar crystals are formed through the process of a supersaturated solution and evaporation. We added too much sugar for our water molecules to hold. When the mixture is hot and everything's moving around, the sugar has a higher chance of dissolving and being distributed evenly throughout the solution. But as the solution cools and the water level reduces, there's nothing left for the sugar to cling to, so the molecules start bonding with other sugar molecules. This creates big sugar crystals in the center of your jar. Another variation on this experiment is to compare how long it takes the crystals to form in your jar versus how long it might take them to crystallize on a flat surface. So you can pour out some of the liquid from your jar onto a flat surface that has something with a rough texture, like sugar granules, or even a pipe cleaner, and see which set of crystals grows faster or bigger. Don't forget to check out the lesson portal for the quiz and the lesson worksheets for this lesson. That's it for today. See you next time.